Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Blu-ray of Frank Capra's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, directed by Frank Capra, is here on 4K Blu-ray as part of the Columbia Classics Collection, Volume 1. And this is not available individually yet, but I expect that to change in the future. So if you want to wait for an individual release, but still want to check out what my thoughts are on this disc, the release should be about the same. So, all right, now as far as the movie itself goes, out of all the movies in this collection, this was my first time watching Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I, of course, am a fan of James Stewart and Frank Capra, of course, It's a Wonderful Life. So I was very interested to check this one out, and I was very surprised to see how relevant this was even for today. I mean, it goes back to, I guess you go back to the beginning of time, where just there's a government body and there are aspects of corruption, and the regular people, the idealists, are trying to, make sense of it or try to change things. And this is just one of those movies that it's really timeless, despite, being a black and white film and, older, like, over, 80 years at this point. It's just, it's very timeless, and I think you should definitely check this out, especially if you're upset about today's environment, politics, and this will put a little perspective into that in form of a great movie. So, all right, now we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio, but first let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington as part of the Columbia Classics Collection Volume 1 in its individual case, and then we have the back and the spine. And interior, it's nice artwork, all that information. Yeah, some nice artwork on the disc. So, all right, now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington has a 1:37 aspect ratio. So for us widescreen owners, that means black bars on left and right of the screen. Now, as far as film grain goes, it can be a little bit heavy. It's an 80-year-old film. The source material can only provide you so much. You can only squeeze so much out of it. And I think the 4K edition here, just it makes it very bearable. So I think if you're particularly sensitive to film grain, I urge you to check it out anyway. I think that it really looks good, but for the age of the movie, you have to kind of give it some leeway. Now for the HDR10, it really brings out those black levels in particular. Also, detail gets a nice bump up. Now going to the black levels, just of course, this being a black and white film, a lot of tones, black, white, and gray. They just look really well rendered here and are overall fantastic representation on 4K. Now, as far as detail goes, it looks great. Skin textures, clothing, it all looks wonderful. I think you're going to be very pleased here with the level of detail that we get on those up-close shots, and just an overall very pleasing presentation. I'm very happy with the HDR10 application here on the 4K, and I think you will be too. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington supports the 2.0 DTS track. Now, from what I read, the original audio mixes was a 1.0 Monero, but what we get here is put on the main speakers on your particular sound stage. And I think it overall sounds very full. A little bit of background hiss as far as the film source goes. It just is an older movie. It has that, but I didn't find it too distracting, and it wasn't all the time. But sometimes, during several scenes, it's going to be noticeable. Now, overall, I feel it's a very strong mix for a 2.0. Dialogue comes through clean and clear, easy to understand. It's a very dialogue-heavy driven movie, and it sounds good. Some kind of crowd ruckus that happens, in the chambers. It fills a room, and I think it does so fairly well. And I think overall, it's a very pleasing sound to listen through your particular speakers. I still think, if you're utilizing just your television speakers, you'll be okay. But you get that little bit of extra oomph that comes through the surround sound unit. So yeah, I would recommend turning that on and absolutely enjoy the film. For the 4K picture quality of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, I'm going to give this one an A-. I think the black and white picture really shines. HDR10 really gives it that extra pop, especially in those black and white levels. Brings out the gray. Detail is also prevalent, and it looks great. Just the up-close shots in particular are also pretty well done. For the audio presentation, I'm going to give this one a B. It's a 2.0. Really, you can only do so much with it, but you know, it handles dialogue very well. Crowd scenes also sound great. You're kind of in your face, and just a little bit of background hiss, but that's more or less the source material. But overall, it's a very good sounding kind of presentation. So that is my review of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington on 4K. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie on 4K if you picked up the sets. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.